Here's what's coming up on Network Africa. A 9-year-old Congolese girl diagnosed with Ebola in Uganda dies. At least 7 people die in flash floods in southern Morocco. Plus, the UN Security Council extends sanctions against individuals in Mali who violated the 2015 peace agreement. Warm welcome to the program. I'm Teniola Shobowale. A 9-year-old Congolese girl diagnosed with Ebola in Uganda has died. She had been screened for Ebola at the Mpondwe border crossing when coming into the country from the Democratic Republic of Congo with her mother. She was found to have had a fever and immediately put into isolation at an Ebola unit in the western town of Kasese. She was later confirmed to have the virus. Health officials say they are currently working with their counterparts in DR Congo to make arrangements for the girl's body to be taken back home. The girl's mother will also be put into isolation but returned back home for monitoring. Uganda has maintained screening centers along its border with DR Congo in an effort to stop the spread of the virus that has killed more than 2,000 people since the outbreak began last August. At least 7 people have been killed in flash floods in Morocco following torrential rains in mountains in the south of the country. Most of the victims of the floods in Tarudant province were swept away while watching a football game on a pitch built next to a dry river near the village of Tizirit. Authorities say search operations are ongoing to find survivors. The southern Moroccan mountains, known as the Anti-Atlas, are arid and rarely receive rain in the summer. The UN Security Council has extended for a further 12 months sanctions against individuals in Mali who are violating a 2015 peace agreement. In September 2017, the Security Council imposed travel bans and froze assets of designated individuals and entities actively obstructing progress in implementing the Mali Peace and Reconciliation Agreement, which was signed in 2015 by the government and Tuareg armed groups. Mali is battling with chronic insecurity, largely fueled by the ascendancy of jihadist groups in Africa's Sahel, which exploit the region's weak borders. They are involved in kidnapping and human trafficking, as well as weapons and drug smuggling, which have financed the jihadist expansion. A cargo plane carrying 35 tons of supplies, mainly tents, has landed at Juba International Airport. The cargo is part of a support package for South Sudan's peace process and a donation from the African Union Peace and Security Council for use in 35 cantonment sites. The supplies arrived from the African Union Logistics Center in Cameroon and were immediately offloaded from the plane onto military trucks facilitated by South Sudan's National Pre-Transitional Committee. The tents will be distributed to several cantonment sites where military forces from different warring factions have been converging as part of transitional security arrangements in South Sudan's peace agreement signed in September 2018.
Among the items that we have received, most of them are tents and are meant for lodging, some of them will be used as stores, some of them will be used as kitchens, some of them will be used as washrooms. They will go to all the cantonments in South Sudan that have been established.
African Union Commission deem it necessary to provide some support, in-kind support, so that the cantonment process can be completed and the training of unified forces can start, so that by November 12, 2019, we can have the formation of a revitalized government of national unity.
In the Central African Republic, United Nations peacekeepers are helping women in Birao to build peace the best way they can, working the land to feed their families and make a living. The Farming for Peace project is an initiative by the United Nations Multidimensional Integrated Stabilization Mission in the Central African Republic. Birao's field office aims at bringing communities together while helping them with agricultural training techniques and methods that also include financial management.
Perpetrators of violence always run to the youth. If they are not engaged in a positive manner. So having sat down with the field office, we thought it wise that the people that we should embrace for now are the youth, to the extent that once we keep them busy, they should not easily be manipulated. And at the same time, we realize that jobs are not there here. We thought that such projects should be able to engage the youth in productive ways that should be able to keep them busy, to avoid anybody manipulating them, and to some extent empower them economically.
Tunisian presidential candidate and incumbent Prime Minister Youssef Chahed says the country should press ahead with its government's focus on the economy and security if it is to join the club of strong democracy. Chahed, who is standing in next month's presidential election, admits the difficult reforms could cost him politically, but he says they have stopped the economy from collapsing and things are improving. Spending cuts and tax and fuel price increases have caused frustration among many Tunisians, prompting strikes and protests.
Security still remains a strong issue because we're still under ISIS threats. We're still under a difficult situation in Libya that impact. We have almost 500 kilometers border with Libya, so we are really careful about the situation in Libya. So security is top priority, but also boosting the economy for the next few months will be a strong issue, because if you would like Tunisia to jump to the club of strong democracy, now we have to work on the economic side. The economy is no longer threatened by those high deficit, but of course now we should look to the future. We should boost the economy through boosting investment, foreign direct investment, tourism activity. Agricultural activity in Tunisia is still a huge potential of growth for the Tunisia to feel that really democracy brings for them welfare and prosperity, which is not still the case today. Of course, freedom of speech is here, freedom of religion, media is free, which is a huge achievement for the Tunisian people. But now we have to focus on the economy in order to give Tunisian prosperity and welfare, in order to give jobs for young Tunisians, and in order to prepare for a new sustainable model of development in Tunisia.